Welcome back to the cryptoworld channel, everyone. My name is Josh, and right now, Bitcoin is bouncing from important support in the short term, while Ethereum is forming a new pattern that we need to pay attention to. So I'll be talking more about that later in the video. Definitely watch to the end. First of all, just giving you a quick update here on the daily Bitcoin chart. And right now, as of recording this video, the price of Bitcoin is bouncing perfectly from this previous 78.6% Fibonacci level of resistance, which is now acting as support. And this level is sitting at around 22.7K. And so, as I've explained in recent videos here on the channel, while the price of Bitcoin is still holding above this 22.7K level of support just here, we are technically still seeing bullish price structure in a bullish trend here on the daily time frame. But if we start to see a confirmed break back below 22.7K, then it would become very likely we could retest down towards some of these lower levels like 21.2K, which should be acting as significant support. Of course, if we first see a break below 22.7K, which hasn't happened just yet. So at least for now, just based on the price action alone, we are still seeing bullish price structure and a bullish trend here on the daily time frame. But with that being said, as I've also warned in recent videos here on the channel, we clearly have a bearish divergence here on the daily time frame, telling us that the bullish trend, even though it technically has not reversed into a bearish trend as of right now, this bearish divergence does tell us that we're losing bullish momentum for this trend. So instead of expecting significant bullish moves like this, for example, I would be expecting a lot less bullish momentum in the coming weeks and potentially more of a pause or possible pullback from the bullish trend over the next 1 to 2 weeks or so. Because once again, this bearish divergence simply means we are losing bullish momentum from the bullish trend, but that doesn't necessarily mean we have confirmed a bearish trend reversal. And now if you zoom into the slightly shorter term, looking at the 8-hour Bitcoin to US dollar chart, obviously over the last few days, I've been talking about this recent bearish divergence in the shorter term, which has already been confirmed for multiple days now. And from the moment we saw this initial bearish divergence in the short term a few weeks ago, we've seen a lot less bullish momentum. But obviously, ever since this recent bearish divergence confirmed, we've actually seen a slight pullback in the Bitcoin price over the last few days. And once again, the most common outcomes for a bearish divergence are either choppy sideways price action or a slight pullback in the price. So this type of price action was fairly expected a few days ago. And we can only start to be more confident that this short-term bearish divergence is actually over once we start to see either a confirmed breakout here in the 8-hour Bitcoin RSI above this line of resistance, which hasn't really happened as of right now, or more importantly, a confirmed higher high in the Bitcoin RSI while the price is also forming higher highs, because obviously in that case that is no longer a divergence and instead that is simply normal price action and the RSI following each other. But at least for now, this short-term bearish divergence is still currently active. It is still in play, so we should still be expecting reduced bullish momentum here in the shorter term. And now with that being said, if you're looking at the 4-hour Bitcoin chart, just recently the price has actually run close to this important short-term support level, which I've got right here at around 22.6K approximately. And as I explained in my last video on this channel, we now have a resistance just here at around 23.3K and more resistance up here at around 23.9K. And now if we do end up seeing a confirmed break below around 22.5 to 22.6K, which is where we're seeing short-term support right now, then in that case, in that more bearish scenario, it's likely we could see a drop down towards around 21.2K, which is the next area in the volume profile indicator. And on top of that, as I just mentioned earlier in the video, that is precisely where this previous golden pocket is sitting at around 21.2K once again. So that is why it is important for the price of Bitcoin to hold above this short-term support level right here. Otherwise, we could potentially see more than $1,000 drop in the price of Bitcoin. But anyway, now getting into the Ethereum part of this video. This right here is the daily ETH to US dollar chart, and as of right now, we are still running into this important range of resistance in between 1650 to 1.7k, and we are also still seeing this bearish divergence continue to form and play out here on the daily time frame, as I've talked about in recent videos here on the channel. But despite this being the case right now, we have not currently seen a confirmed trend reversal back into a bearish trend, because we are still consistently seeing higher lows and higher highs form in the price of ETH. So yes, we do have some important obstacles right here for the price of ETH that could potentially result in a further pause or pullback in the bullish trend, but as of right now, we haven't actually confirmed a bearish trend reversal once again. And if you want to know more about what's happening here on the daily time frame, then check out my last video on this channel, because not much has changed here on the daily time frame. But zooming into the 8-hour ETH to US dollar chart, what we are seeing right now is a rising wedge pattern form on the 8-hour time frame. And while this rising wedge pattern is forming, of course, we are also seeing a new bearish divergence right here on the 8-hour time frame as well, because clearly we have higher highs in the price action in the 8-hour candle closes, while the RSI on the 8-hour time frame is consistently forming lower highs. And so once again, this bearish divergence simply means we are due to see reduced bullish momentum, and at the same time, a rising wedge pattern is technically a bearish pattern. And that's simply because, statistically speaking, a rising wedge pattern breaks to the downside roughly 7 times out of 10 and breaks to the upside around 3 times out of 10. So statistically, it is more likely to break to the downside, but not impossible to break to the upside. It's just that is a less likely scenario based on the rising wedge pattern's history. But either way, whether we do end up breaking resistance or support, we need to actually wait to see a confirmed break of one of those levels in order to confirm the next technical price target based on this pattern. And in case you're wondering, resistance for this pattern is sitting at around 1690, and support is sitting at almost exactly 1.6k. And if we do end up seeing a confirmed break below that support at 1.6k, then the technical price target in that case for this rising wedge pattern is simply the bottom of the wedge, which is sitting at approximately 1.5k. So basically, if we see a confirmed break below 1.6k, we're likely going to see around a $100 drop in the price of ETH down towards that technical price target. But obviously, that technical price target does not come into play if we do not see that confirmed break below 1.6k, or this support level right here. And now, what is very interesting is the fact that even though we are seeing this bearish rising wedge pattern and bearish divergence on the 8-hour time frame, we are currently seeing the exact opposite here on the 2-hour ETH to US dollar chart. Because as you can see here, the price is forming a falling wedge pattern and a bullish divergence, because we have lower lows in the candle closes and higher lows in the 2-hour Ethereum RSI. And so once again, this is the exact opposite here on the 2-hour time frame compared to what I just said on the 8-hour time frame. And you might be thinking these patterns essentially contradict each other, but that's not necessarily the case, because obviously they are on 2 completely different time frames. So for example, this falling wedge pattern, which is statistically a bullish pattern because it's the opposite of a rising wedge, is actually forming right here. It's just obviously on the 8-hour time frame, we are more zoomed out compared to the 2-hour time frame. And so it's actually possible for both of these patterns to eventually play out in their more likely scenarios. For example, this falling wedge is technically more likely to break out to the upsides, and that can still happen while this rising wedge pattern potentially continues to form. For example, we could see one more move like this in the rising wedge, which could actually be the smaller falling wedge playing out, and then potentially see another rejection from this resistance come back down and enter into a bit more of a correction. Of course, that is one of the more likely scenarios simply based on these technical patterns. And now when it comes to this smaller falling wedge pattern on the 2-hour time frame, support is sitting at approximately 1.6k as well, but resistance is sitting at around 1640 to 1650 approximately. And if we end up seeing a confirmed break above that resistance just there, then the technical price target is simply at the top of the wedge. If you're going off candle closes, then that target is closer towards 1680 to 1690. But if you're going off this candle wick all the way up here, then the target's just above 1.7k. So close to where this resistance line is sitting at here on the 8-hour time frame for the rising wedge pattern. But once again, that technical price target does not come into play if we don't see that confirmed break above this resistance first. And so as always, it is important to wait for that confirmed breakout in order to actually activate this higher technical price target here on the 2-hour time frame, which could potentially just be another run up towards this resistance here on the 8-hour time frame. And now, if you want to know how to maximize your profits in crypto, no matter if the price is going to the upside, to the downside, or simply chopping around sideways, then make sure to check out these videos popping up right here on your screen. The video in the top left shows you how to make money if the price is going either up or down, and the video in the bottom left shows you how to make money if the price is chopping around sideways. But anyway, that's everything that I have to say for today. I really hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next video.